We're going to dive into the next chapter of one of the most polarizing cases the country has ever seen, Karen Reed. She was acquitted of all major criminal charges, including second-degree murder and the death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. She has now filed a massive new civil lawsuit accusing multiple witnesses and members of law enforcement of conspiracy, evidence tampering, and framing her for murder. Welcome to It's a Crime. I'm your host, Margaret McLean. I've tried many cases like this before juries as a civil defense attorney. What does it all mean? And what are the chances that Karen and her team of lawyers will prevail? Let's break it all down. This 46-page complaint was eloquently written. For example, count 2 reads like this. Karen Reed did not kill her then-boyfriend, Mr. O'Keefe. Rather, in the early morning hours of January 29th, Mr. O'Keefe was killed in defendants Brian and Nicole Albert's home at 34 Fairview Road in Canton, House, in an altercation during a late-night house party with other defendants, collectively the House defendants, after a night of heavy drinking. The House defendants responsible for Mr. O'Keefe's death, some of whom had professional experience with police investigations, concocted a plan immediately after the altercation to avoid culpability and to frame Karen Reed. Rather than call first responders for help, among other actions, the House defendants concocted a Google search for information about Hoslong to die in the cold, moved Mr. O'Keefe's body outside, and placed him on the Alberts' front lawn near the road to make it look like Mr. O'Keefe was hit by a vehicle and that he died in the snow without ever coming into the house that night. Mr. O'Keefe's body remained on the Alberts' lawn until Karen Reed found him later in the morning. After that, multiple people and members of law enforcement engaged in a massive cover-up and conspiracy. They staged the scene to make it look like a hit and run with the intent to frame Karen. In a civil lawsuit, allegations like these are not enough. Each count must have evidence to back it up. And remember, this is not criminal. The plaintiff is looking for money here. No one is going to be going to jail. And she points to her not guilty verdict in the criminal trial. Each of these allegations must be proven with evidence, either direct or circumstantial. How will Karen and her team find that supporting evidence? In a civil case, the rules are different from that which we just saw in the criminal case. Both parties will enter into a discovery period, which will take many months and sometimes up to a year. During this phase, you'll see countless depositions. For example, Karen's team may want to depose everyone who is inside the house at 34 Fairview. Let's take Jen McCabe, for example. How does it work? Jen will receive a notice of deposition that she must attend, and it will be taken at one of Karen's lawyer's law offices in the conference room. Jen will be there with her lawyer. She'll be sworn in, and it'll be recorded. Both a video and a transcript will be produced. Karen's lawyer will ask Jen hundreds of questions. It may take up to 4 hours. Now, the public will not be able to see it. It will not be televised. The defense team will also want to take plenty of depositions. For example, they're going to want to take Karen's. Ultimately, through the course of civil discovery, Karen and her team are hoping to produce evidence to support her allegations. If she is unable to produce specific evidence supporting some of the allegations, those counts will likely be dismissed by the judge before reaching the jury. Karen needs evidence, proof that the Alberts, McCabes, and Brian Higgins engaged in a massive cover-up. She's hoping that someone who was present inside the house at 34 Fairview will flip and come out and say, yes, there was a big fight in the basement or in the garage, and John O'Keefe was bitten by the family dog Chloe. And everyone was engaged in a massive cover-up, but I'm ready to come forward. Okay? Maybe there will be missing ring camera evidence that will prove her point that there was a fight, or her allegation that there was a fight somewhere inside the house. But as we stand now, there is no direct or circumstantial evidence supporting these counts. Let's explore the evidence tampering allegations. The complaint accuses investigators of planting taillight fragments and glass from Karen's SUV at the scene where O'Keefe's body was found, deleting surveillance footage, falsifying reports, and steering the entire investigation toward Karen Reed. Karen has to come up with some type of proof that evidence tampering actually occurred. To support her allegations, she needs evidence, actual proof, not just a theory or conjecture. She is hoping to get that evidence as she deposes the investigators. For example, will somebody come forward and admit that fragments of her taillight were smashed out and planted at the scene? That's what she needs. Just because some of the footage inside the Canton Police Sallyport was produced in dribs and drabs and Proctor was present, in my opinion, isn't enough. I mean, it might be weird, but that's not direct or circumstantial evidence to support her allegations. Now, Karen may prevail on some of the allegations, but not all. She may stand a chance in the allegations against Trooper Michael Proctor because of his vulgar text messages, and those will be used as direct evidence to support her claims. They'll support his personal bias against her and investigator misconduct.
You followed that up with the phrase leaks poo, didn't you?
I did.
Again, another reference to Miss Reed's medical issues and medical conditions, correct?
Correct.
Specifically focused on her anus, correct?
In reference, yes.
Trooper Proctor has also been fired from his job, and that's not going to help him. Just remember, actual evidence is required by law. That's either direct or circumstantial. In civil court, speculation gets thrown out. Karen must also prove causation and damages. She'll have to prove that she lost her job, her home, health insurance, and spent millions in legal and expert fees defending herself due to this massive conspiracy and civil rights violations. According to the complaint, Karen's claiming that the years-long criminal process did quite a number on her, exacerbating chronic medical conditions and causing her to suffer emotional distress. Ultimately, this lawsuit could reshape the narrative of one of the most talked about cases, or it could fail if the evidence doesn't meet the legal standard. I'll be following all developments on this one, so be sure to subscribe. And as always, thank you for watching It's a Crime.